Hi, Janani. I'm so happy you could make time. I could see you rushing this morning, and I know you have to rush back to a lot of other work. But I'm so happy you are here with us on this podcast today. 20, almost 20 years of experience you have in 19, yeah, close to 20. We'll meet you again next year then to celebrate that. So, oh my God, that's 2 decades long, and then you would have spent with a lot of people, knowing them, just meeting them, and so much in and around people. So is it what you always wanted, and was this how you imagined your life to be in HR? Is this your passion? That is why you are here?
I am an engineer. Okay. And then I did my human resources masters because somewhere I felt I cannot be bound behind a laptop. I wanted to be out there with the people, influencing, interacting, and invigorating them to action, right? So it led me to this profession. I think often life leads and you are being led. So I think I've grown in this profession pretty well. Life has been kind and opportunities have been plenty. I think I've capitalized on those to grow. So yeah, is it something that I always wanted to do? Perhaps. And is it something that I will always do? I'm not sure, right? I'm going with the flow.
Like I was having a small chat with you, you did mention the word diverse.
Yeah.
You are in many places or at many times, and you love doing all those things, right?
Yes.
So tell us something that we would not find on your LinkedIn, that the people watching this would want to know, people maybe very close to and also somehow it should be very relatable to your profession, but we would want some behind the scenes from you too.
Okay, few things that I might not put on LinkedIn is I'm a terrific student. I keep studying all the time. So last 5 years, I think I keep doing one or the other certification, and that's meaningful to me, but it's all adding up to some big picture that I have for my own self. I am also a learner of music. I continue to learn while I teach in the weekend. So I haven't put out there that I'm a weekend music teacher, but I'm teaching music for the last 4 years.
So also you are a yoga trainer, certified yoga trainer.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes.
Just for all the peace you want to have after a chaotic work day.
It's not after a chaotic work day. It's about how I begin the day, right? So for me, yoga is a way of living. It's about how I speak, how I think, what I eat, and how I'm conducting myself. And definitely to go beyond much of what is visible outside, beyond the body, beyond the mind. There's something that's much higher. So for me, yoga is a way of living. Yeah, I've been practicing for the last 15 years, and 4 years back I got myself certified, and I just start my day with yoga after brushing, bathing.
A lot of peace and calm in your mind for the entire day.
I'm not sure about that. It just keeps me sane.
Okay.
I know that in many very highly tensed moments, I am the yogi in the room, right? And it also happens in my profession that there are conflicts, and there has to be someone who is able to look at things in a very objective way, who has to have that dispassionate view and detached view and yet be very empathetic. I think yoga gives a lot of that. Sheer side effects. A lot of people look at yoga as asanas, and it's just 1% of the whole of yoga, actually speaking, right? A lot of it is beyond, and I think that's what I have been blessed with due to the practice of it. If I'm not doing yoga or meditation for a week, I will know. If I'm not doing it for 2 weeks, my close circle will know. If I'm not doing it for 1 month, I think my external circle will also know. And it has never been that ever since I started.
Okay, that was a good insight, and thank you for sharing something behind the scenes. People would want to know Janani as what you should know about her. So that was a good one. And your current designation, as we know, is SVP People and Culture. I really like that tag, people and culture goes hand in hand always. There has to be a lot of balance in how the company culture is, how the hiring, how the HR team is. It depends that what people you onboard, what culture you maintain in and around office. So I really like that tag that you have right now. And congratulations for such a huge journey. I'm sure like there's so much to learn from you today. So shall we begin to a larger segment of this podcast?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, just another thing, I have been stalking you from one day, I think, because I was like running behind you to get this podcast. So, I came across a very, very cute and interesting post. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks back. It was a craft made by your daughter. You've written, read the whole note and how it, obviously it was made by your daughter. It is special, but it was beautifully made, just to let you know. And you had a lot of thoughts in and around that, we do not have to, like, growing up, we generally rush things and we don't have patience to learn, to accept, or to grow. We just have to, I remember you have written things like, we always rush for results. That is all we are working for. So it was a beautiful post. I totally loved it. And what do you feel these days, especially when candidates are looking for jobs? Okay, I would want to relate that post to something about this topic. When they're looking for jobs, are they also doing the same? Is it not about what they really want, like a company or a culture or the real role? Rather, they are just rushing to find something, and especially when we see in Gen Zs these days, and they feel, okay, this is not working, we'll move on somewhere else.
Yeah. There is generally short-sightedness to everything. There is a sense of urgency as well. Then there is no stepping back. These are 3 things I'm seeing as a trend in the last 4-5 years. I cannot blame anybody because the world has been running in an unprecedented pace. And that definitely has an impact on how human beings think and act. Okay. We are all made for survival. Earlier, we used to be afraid of a tiger that's coming in and going to eat away. Now we are afraid of a LinkedIn post that's not being liked by people. We've become a being of survival, and it's just transforming. The external element that's frightening us is just transforming. So to your question, the decisions that are being made by people today are here and now. The search for success is right now. Work should have happened yesterday. Even companies look at it that way, right? There is severe urgency to build culture. Unfortunately, we can't build it in a day, right? It takes 9 months for the baby to grow in the womb, and we can't urge it. That's how nature has made it. So I think that's what I am seeing as a general trend in everyone. I am not an exception at all. I'm not here talking like a sage. But it's just being aware and therefore moderating how we operate. I think that's very important. Becoming very intentional about operating the way that's right for us, I think, is very important.
Okay. Also, I would want to know from you, because you have seen the inside and outside of this hiring process, the managing internally, being a part of HR, you have to manage a lot of people. So do you feel there is a huge gap or a huge transformation that has happened over the years, when back in the day you were hiring people and to what it has become now? What change do you feel? What has changed? What has transformed? Where do you feel the gap has come? Or what do you feel should be implemented either by the company sides, the culture in hiring, or do you think something should be changed in the candidates or people's mindset?
Right. Few years back, people used to get into a job and they were in that job. Yeah. To maybe 15-20 years back, people started looking at a 3-4 year career in one company and then moving on, or possibly 5-6 years, right? COVID came and I think it just jolted the world and changed the definition of ethics and integrity as well. Earlier, if we had people that were having competing offers and they came back to us saying, hey, I want to negotiate once again, we used to feel that we don't want to hire such people. But today, our first lot of people that we want to source is immediate joiners. Nobody is an exception to this, right? Because we are perpetually in urgency to get somebody who is right for the job, but in urgency, within the time that we are looking at. So I think the entire construct has changed. Let's also talk about the motivations. Earlier, motivations used to be, I need to earn a living, I need to earn for my family, I need to have a social status. I don't think our people, a number of them today are starting there, right? If you remember the Maslow's hierarchy, the world started in the lowest, especially in India, about 20 years back. But today, people are starting in the third, like self-esteem, right? Because they have the basic needs met. And obviously, because of that, the motivators are very different. Element of personalization, element of meaningfulness. It's all propping up very early. If you talk to an average 10-year-old, they say, I don't want to do this because I don't find it meaningful. Oh, really? The word meaningful came much in the late 20s or early 30s for some of us who started careers years before. So I think the world has changed and we have no option. We need to adapt to it and modify. So policies and the way we hire and everything has to change. And I think we are trying to do our best. The industry is trying to thrive.
Right. So to address the elephant in the room that we keep discussing these days, what do you feel about the word ghosting?
Ghosting is you commit and then you don't show up.
And that was the best answer, easy one, short and simple. And how do you relate it to work, hiring in the industry capacity? What do you feel about how and where this word ghosting, is it penetrating very deep to the industry? Is it just on the surface level? It can be addressed, something can be done, something can be changed. What do you feel?
If I need to plot a graph for ghosting numbers, I think 21 and 22 started seeing the highest number. Okay. I mean, it started going from maybe 1, 2 to let's say 100 if we are just plotting a graph against 150, right? 0 to 150. And then it came down because the industry started adjusting again. But today we are still hovering at 30, right? Like if the graph is like this, it's still there and it's pronounced. There are multiple aspects that are leading people to make decisions and therefore ghost. One, I don't think people are looking at long-term careers. So they are okay if their name gets damaged. Second, I think people are okay to have multiple careers, right? That's why some people are openly moonlighting. And there are people that come and say, I want to be a contractor only. If you want, you can hire me. Because I want to do 4 jobs, right? It's just changed, right? If you're saying no and then they accept the job offer because at that point of time their consulting gig is not happening, they also ghost, right? The superset of who ghost could vary from someone who's battling some personal issues or care system at home, or the moonlighters, or someone who does not know what they want, someone who thinks compensation is the biggest. You have all of these people, but it's about how we manage amidst all of this and then find the right one for the organization.
Right. Sometimes in the middle of when you're talking, you're so candid, I laugh very loud. So I'm trying to control because the answers are so candid, they're so real, so relatable. I just am getting reminded of examples and I want to laugh out loud, but maintaining the decorum of this room, I'm just okay, no, I should not.
Yeah, I'm known for being very candid.
Yeah, and I'm loving it.
You have to cut it.
No, I'm loving it. I love candid conversations. And with that note, I would want to ask my next question. without taking names, obviously, or company names, tell me one such experience that will live rent free on your head when it comes to ghosting. Something you did not expect, but it happened, and you learned one big lesson in your life.
Yeah, there, I mean, it happens in leadership levels too, right? Even at leadership levels, I have seen that there are people that respond that their first value is trust and integrity, and then they commit, and then 2 or 3 months of notice and engagement, the entire engagement business that you need to go through with candidates right now has become very increased, isn't it? So you do all of that and they're fully engaged, and then they stop answering calls before they're supposed to join. It hurts, especially at senior levels, because there is a team that's looking forward for that person to join. They are damaging their credibility seriously, but and it also, see, even for the hiring manager, it makes them reflect back and doubt their conviction, their own sense of judgment, and their intuition, saying, did I do anything wrong in assessing that this person is right for us, for this role? What went wrong really, right? Have got hurt multiple times being in this role across multiple groups. I can't name anything anywhere. And I've heard it from my peers in the industry as well. I don't think it leaves a good taste. Unfortunately, the world is round. I have seen team members becoming bosses to the people that they reported to at some stage. And the churn of the talent pool keeps happening, right? Again, the short-sightedness that I was referring to earlier is rushing even in the highest levels. And that also makes it tough, right? Like currently they're not seeing what they're not seeing. And it could bite them later.
So, your ghosting experience is it right to say, has been a little up and down, mostly with the senior management or
At every level.
at every level? But
It hurts the most in the senior management. At the other levels, if you're a service company, your billing gets affected. If you're a product company, then your features get affected. And the promises that you have made to your clients get affected. You know, everywhere, you're losing credibility with your client because somebody somewhere made a choice not to join in the last minute.
we are having a wonderful conversation with you, Janani. And with that note, I'll just move to the next segment. And the next segment is easy, but you would be having more surprises because I would ask you to pick a couple of numbers. Based on those numbers, I have some hidden questions. I'll be asking that.
Sure, okay, go ahead.
So, Janani, as I mentioned, there are 10 questions that I have you are not aware of. I'm sure you have answers for all of them and even more, but you have to randomly pick any two lucky number between 1 to 10, and whatever question is hidden behind that number, I'll ask you. So, should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay, just randomly pick two numbers from number 1 to 10.
4 and 8?
Okay, that was quick. Are these your lucky numbers?
No, random.
Okay. So, number 4, how do you currently stay in touch with a candidate once the offer is sent? Is there a system or is just your intuition that they will join?
No. We don't trust only intuitions. So we run a survey to understand motivators of people after we have offered them, especially for critical roles. And then we tailor make an engagement plan for them. And the engagement plan will have touch points from the hiring managers, the HR business partners, in some cases the business unit leader. If it's a senior candidate, then a couple of leadership members as well. And we space it out across a month or two depending on their notice period. Sometimes it's really long, 3 months. So across 3 months, we try to keep them engaged. We invite them for lunches, dinners, or any office events that take place so that they get to understand the culture of the organization. We basically try to expand their lens about where they are joining and be very candid about where they are going to get in, right? Because it's the stakes are high for them, the stakes are high for us as well. It's better they know us before than coming here and then making a choice of not being here. That is even more painful. So yeah, we are honest in the way we engage, but we engage and actively.
So you have, it's right to say you have a certain process in place, a SOP, which regulates that after you have rolled out, you're not just waiting for them to show up on day one.
Right.
You in your own way are tracking the whole route as well to understand their vibes as well.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So shall we move to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the next one you said is number 8. And the number 8 question is, if you could automate just one part of your hiring process, what would it be and why?
The complete screening process, which includes a test, coding test, and then the initial 1 to 2 rounds of technical interviews, and then really getting only the cream that are also willing to join the company, right? Like whichever company is hiring. I think that will be an icing on the cake if we're able to do it. Today our company is doing it. I think we've just started, but that piece will be really good if we're able to do, because recruiters will be able to spend a lot of time in candidate engagement, understanding the role more and interacting with the AI to enable all of this, and working with the hiring managers more. It'll be much more meaningful to have a recruiter's role redefined if we're able to get this automated.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And with this, we end our second segment, and we'll move next to another very candid segment. No pressure on you for choosing numbers, and the last one. But I can say so far, I'm having such a good time with you. It's again wonderful having you. While I'm going to the last one, I'm just worried that this conversation will end and we have to close this off. But given the time, we have to also let you go. So can we start our last one?
Sure.
Yeah. So we have reached to our very last segment, and in the previous segment, we got a question for you that what do you want to automate and why, and you had your own ideas and the problems that you want to solve, you would want to automate. Do you also think that fixing this ghosting problem and tracking candidates after releasing offer letters, all of these things that are also a problem that we see in everyday hiring? So the solutions for this, or there should be a platform which should be completely automated and can be handy, can be easier, can be integrated with any HRM system. Do you think such platforms are, a good use at workplace, especially in hiring in HR?
Absolutely. See, if 20% of our candidates are ghosting, I'm just making it up. It's not our company's number. I'm just making it up. Then if we have a platform where all the offers are consolidated and we get visibility to a candidate having another competing offer, it just helps us know true motivators, have that conversation, engage with them or find alternatives. At least gives us much more lead time to operate more swiftly, so to say, right? I think that becomes easier for us, certainly.
So you think platforms, especially because we are having this conversation within OfferX, so do you think the features that you have explored so far or have heard of about OfferX, these are something that you would want to try or you want to have your hands on, and you feel that this genuinely is going to solve some of your problems or more of your problems, and also going to cut down the time that you are spending manually in engaging with the candidate, knowing the candidate better, trusting your instincts, or having other things in place? Will it help you in reducing ghosting?
Absolutely, yes. I think there is just so much new happening in talent acquisition, and if some option like this is existing, why not try it, right? Again, because there is also a lot coming up, it's important to think about what is applicable for any organization and maybe pilot it with few and see the effectiveness of it. If it's working out, then absolutely it's a great option, I must say. And I'm aware that OfferX also provides candidate ratings. I think that's a great addition to today. Yeah. Candidates are judging companies based on the numbers that they are seeing. Now, if another option for the employer to view a candidate's rating is given,
reviews.
I think it also reviews. It's great, right? Like you at least make an assessment beforehand, even before you offer. In fact, I don't know if that option is available, but I certainly think that's a great option too.
So you feel it's fair and square?
Yeah, it is fair.
Okay, on that note, Janani, it was lovely chatting with you. It was an amazing day. I do multiple podcasts. Each of my guests are very special, and so are you. And every time I walk out of the room, there's so much to learn because I meet people with, decades long of experience. They have so much to serve. And with today, I'm also inspired, being a full-time mother. I know, I have a mother, and, it's a work. It's a 24/7 on-the-clock work. Plus, you are a yoga practitioner, a certified yoga practitioner. You're a vocalist. You are so much more. So I'm sure your child is getting inspired with having such a multi-talented mother. I'm sure your workplace is getting motivated. And I'm sure the viewers would be motivated by watching you. They would love knowing the Janani behind the scenes. And so were we. So thank you so much for having us, and I am so glad you could make time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alishaa. You have been such a wonderful host, and I really appreciate your team's patience in finding that slot with me and managing it in the time that I'm available. Really appreciate it. Thank you again.